everybody, I'm back with another video. So I have been so stuck on what I wanted to film for this week. I didn't know if I wanted to do something with like beauty and makeup or fashion or hair. But then I came across the idea and I was just like, it's the end of the school year, everyone's graduating, everyone's moving on, and I'm going to be in college in August, and I'm graduating from high school. And I remember being in the 8th grade about to go into high school, and high school has gone by so fast. So I remember being a little bit timid and just so confused on what to expect in high school. So I decided that I was going to do a video on advice for incoming freshmen into high school. And this video is primarily for girls that are going into high school, but anyone could watch it. So the first topic that we're going to be covering is classes/teachers. So your classes will be broken down into periods, of course, probably the same in middle school. And depending on what school you go to, you're going to have a certain amount of periods in a day. My school personally has 8 periods in a day, and they're each 42 minutes long. So with classes, you want to make sure that you are in the correct level class. Don't take a class that is a higher level just because you want to get the credits, but then start failing because it's too rigorous for you, and then vice versa. Don't take a class that is too easy because you might get bored and you might just be unenthusiastic with the class and you might dread going there, and it's just a bad look. Now, in choosing your classes, you want to choose classes that interest you in terms of electives. So if you don't know what an elective is like your art classes, your cooking classes, your child care, stuff like that, woods and like metals, stuff like that. Classes that aren't your major subjects, your math, your English, your science, and your history. Classes that you probably won't have every day of your cycle week. So make sure you choose a class that interests you or has some type of correlation to your occupation that you want to be. So if you want to be a chef, make sure you take some cooking classes. And if you want to be a fashion designer or a fashion buyer, make sure you take clothing or fashion, world of fashion. It just helps to get you ready and prepare you for what you're going to be doing on an everyday basis if you take that major or if that's what you want to be when you grow up. Now, your primary classes are your math, your English, your science, and your history. And if your school offers language, you can take your language as a major, as I do. I take French. I'm in honors French because I've taken it this is my 4th year taking French. So that's just how it goes. A thing about your classes, I would say make sure you always study. Like, that's just so basic. Like, I don't even need to elaborate on that. Just study. Try to keep your grades up. Honestly, it is so easy to fail. You don't even have to lift a finger to fail, but it's kind of more difficult to pass. So a passing percentage in my school is a 60%, which is a D. And I feel like that's just so, like, don't get D's. Don't just say, I just need to pass. Actually try and accumulate grades that make you look good and reflect on you as a student with naturally high intellect, because colleges definitely look at all 4 years of your high school career. Your classes, like your major classes, your math and English and stuff, in my school are primarily going to be filled with people in your grade. So when I was in 9th grade for history, I took world cultures, and that class was just completely freshmen. And then when I was like in 11th grade for my science course, I took chemistry. Like 11th graders took chemistry unless you came from a different school and your scheduling was kind of different. 11th graders took chemistry. So those type of major courses are going to have mainly people in your grade, but your electives can have every grade in it. So your art class, you might have a senior in your art class and you might be a freshman. Negative about classes and like course picking is that you may pick a class with your friend and you guys might have duplicate schedule, but when you actually get your real schedule, you guys might not be in the same class. So I remember my friends and I picked drawing and painting, we picked clothing and all this stuff, but none of us were in the same class. We still got that class, but we just didn't get them together. So the positive thing about classes though is that you do get to, of course, learn and acquire new information, and learning is good. Don't ever say learning is bad, because it's good. And you also get to meet new people when you have that bigger audience in your school and a bigger mix of people. You get to meet sophomores, seniors, juniors, cool teachers that might, you know, write your letter of recommendation when you're a senior, stuff like that. So always be positive in class. As for teachers, if you have a problem with your teacher right off the bat, don't be so negative about it. Try to work around it. But if the problem is persistent, just talk to your counselor, and you can complain, and they might take you and put you in a different class. If you honestly don't feel comfortable in that learning environment, that's going to reflect on you. The teacher is getting paid. He or she doesn't even have to care if you pass or not. So if you care about your education and you don't want to be in that class with that teacher, talk to your counselor and get out that class. Same thing goes with if there's someone in your class who you just can't stand to be around, try and work your way out of it. Either you can be cool with that person and be cordial, or you can just opt out of that class, because it is what it is. You care about your learning, you're there to learn, so don't let anyone interrupt you. Now, the next topic is going to be about upperclassmen. So upperclassmen is pretty much juniors and seniors, 11th and 12th graders. But to a freshman, a sophomore in 10th grade could be considered an upperclassman. There's this whole thing where they say like upperclassmen don't like freshmen. I wouldn't say they don't like freshmen, but I can say that they are groomed to have a certain mindset towards freshmen. For example, people say, oh, freshmen are like, they're just lost, like they don't know anything, they're naive, they're vulnerable, they believe that type of stuff. So that's how seniors think. So they will try to trick you, they will try to manipulate you. If I were you, if you don't have like an older sibling in high school and you're going into high school and you're just doing everything on your own, try and find a sophomore or a junior on your first day if you don't know where a class is to tell you where to go, because I've seen seniors tell freshmen on the first day of school to go to the completely wrong class because they don't know any better. They're just like, okay, thanks. And they end up in the wrong class. And I mean, that's so childish. But seniors, honestly, are probably one of the more childish grades in the school. So upperclassmen, there are some nice ones out there. Like that will be your friend. Like I think I'm pretty friendly to freshmen most of the time. Like as long as they're not really being so extra and try to draw attention to themselves, I think I'm pretty nice to freshmen. So you don't really have to worry about upperclassmen because they're just trying to graduate and get out. So do your thing, don't worry about them. Now the next topic is parties. Parties. So high school parties, of course, I don't really go out to parties. I don't like to participate in I don't participate in that. It's just not for me. Especially at the school that I'm at now, it's just not for me. So I'm just going to be real, keep it 100. There are things that people do at parties that are illegal. There's underage drinking, marijuana usage, like all this sexual stuff going on. Girls be having next to nothing on. It's just what people do. And just be prepared for it. If you're going to go to a party and you're going to drink, please do not take a picture and post it on Snapchat, like turn up with the bottle, because eventually the school will find out. Someone is going to pass it on because you're a freshman, so they're going to be like, oop, look at what this freshman is doing. Your school's going to find out and you will be caught. Do not drink just because someone's telling you to drink. Do not be pressured into drinking. Honestly, it's not that cool. It's not that fun. I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't tried it. It's not that cool. It tastes disgusting most of the time. I've only tried it, like, I'm not even going to talk about that. But don't be pressured into doing it. If you really don't want to do it, just say no. And if they say that you're lame, oh well. Another thing about parties, honestly, a lot of parties get busted, especially like depending on the type of crowd. If it's a lot of popular people at school, a lot of people are going to want to go there. If it's like the head football players and the pretty cheerleader girls and the lacrosse team's going to be there, the soccer girls are going to be there, a lot of people are going to be there because those are the people who, you know, they kind of represent the school. They're in a public light when it comes to athletics. So don't just go there because other people are going to be there. I mean, if you want to go and go, but don't be pressured into doing anything. Another thing about parties is that senior boys are some dogs. So I was told that after football season is concluded, that's the initiation time for senior boys to go and try and talk to freshman girls so that they can get with them, because they know freshman girls are kind of vulnerable when it comes to senior boys, because who doesn't want an older guy? Who doesn't? So don't be pressured into doing stuff. It's not that big of a deal. There's going to be so many other parties. You don't have to go to every party. There will always be parties. I'm telling you, you don't need to go to every single one. Now, our next topic is dating. I personally have not ever dated no one in my high school because just no. There's no point. But I have had friends who dated people in school or have talked to people in school, or I know a lot of people who just date each other, have dated a lot of people, dated the whole football team. Like, dating in high school to me is so over exaggerated. There will be an in-between time for you to get from period 2 to period 3, and my school is 6 minutes. There will be couples that will just kiss for a long time as if they're never gonna see each other again, and then it's just like the most dramatic thing ever. Like, why are you being so over dramatic? I don't get it. I feel like dating in high school, like, yeah, you may find the one, but if you're a freshman dating someone and you guys break up, don't worry about it. There's going to be so many more years for you to acquire as many boyfriends, girlfriends as you want. Honestly, it's not that big of a deal. People over exaggerate. People post pictures like they're going to get married to this person, and a lot of times that doesn't happen, but people do marry their high school sweethearts, so don't be discouraged. But honestly, you don't need to go to high school and try and find a boyfriend. You're not there for that. You're there to get an education and then be social and go and just make friends and networks to help you continue in your life. So don't go there with the mindset, I need a boyfriend, I must have a boyfriend, girlfriend, if you prefer girls. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. The next item that we're going to talk about are social events. So social events include homecoming, include sporting events, fundraisers, stuff like that. So I've been in cheerleading since I was in middle school. I did basketball cheerleading and football cheerleading, and I was on the varsity, blah, 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 blah. So my advice is definitely get involved. If you like playing video games, get involved with the video game and handheld gamers club. If you like cheerleading, do cheerleading. If you like football, do football. If you like anything, get involved. This is where you will make the most friends, and honestly, you will meet a lot of people being in so many various clubs. Especially me, I wanted to do volunteer club. I was in that. Cheerleading, of course. I was on the newspaper for the school. I've done a lot of things in school. So I feel like my circle of friends, I have my tight-knit circle, and I just have a wide range of people that I've made connection with just because I joined a lot of clubs. Social events though, football games. Football games are just, most people who are in middle school have been to a high school football game, so it's not like it's anything new. But when you're in middle school, you kind of go to football games and you kind of just walk around with your friends because what else you're going to do. But in high school, it's a little bit more serious about the actual sport. So people sit in the student section, people dress up. This goes for football, basketball, soccer, volleyball, all of that stuff. People just like to get involved in the sport. Now, there's always going to be that person in the student section who just wants to be extra and get kicked out every single sporting event. Don't be that person, because especially if you're a freshman, it's not going to make you look like cool, like, yo, it was a freshman that kicked out. No, they're just going to be like, that annoying freshman, thank God he got kicked out, or he or she. So don't be that person. Some of y'all girls do me with these outfits. You come in with the bellies all up to go to sporting events. I mean, that's cool and all, but when you're a freshman, people just look at it as so forced, like you're just trying to be someone that you're not, because the older girls do that stuff. I'm not saying disregard it, but I'm just saying please just be a little tasteful, you know, work your way up to that level. Homecoming, honestly, my school's homecoming to me is thumbs down. I went to homecoming in the 9th grade and I hated it. First of all, I didn't have a date, but I don't really care about that. I just felt like I wasted so much money going. I got my hair done, my dress, my nails, my makeup, shoes, jewelry, all to go there, and everyone's just, I don't know. I just didn't like it. But please do not be discouraged, because I know a lot of schools' homecomings are so fun. So definitely, I would say go to homecoming your freshman year. Definitely go, because then you'll know if you like it or not. Don't just blow it off and just feel like, oh, it's just homecoming, unless you're really not into that type of thing. But homecoming for me, I just personally didn't like it, but I know a lot of people spend so much money to have a great time with their friends, their boyfriends, girlfriends, but just be a little bit tasteful, because after homecoming, there's going to be a party. Someone's going to try and pressure you to do something that you may or may not want to do, and if it doesn't go the way how it's planned, you will be kind of like exposed, and you don't want to be the freshman that got exposed because she was doing something after homecoming. You know what I mean? So just be tasteful about that type of thing. Social events are fun in high school. It's where you make the most friends. You can join the Thon, which is like for cancer research and like fundraising. You can get involved in pretty much anything. Like, just get involved in something. Please get involved in something. Even if you're someone who just hates everything about school, start a I hate everything about school club and get involved. The next topic that we're going to talk about is drama. I wish I could say there's no such thing as drama in high school, but this is the #1 hot spot for drama, high school. Now, I don't care if you're in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, you will always find some type of drama. Okay, so I remember being in 9th grade, and I don't know, I was really tall. I was like 5'6", 5'7". People kind of were like not scared of me, but they just felt like, oh, I'm not really gonna approach her because she's kind of bigger than me, so what's the point of me even trying to, mess with her? I think I'm a kind of like a gentle giant in a way. People would disagree with that. I think I am. So, drama. There's always going to be drama. You and your friends are going to have some type of turbulence sometime, whether it be freshman year, junior year, sophomore year, whatever. There's going to be some type of rough time, and honestly, the only way to get over it is if you're a real person, if you keep it 100 and you're authentic, you talk things out with that person and you keep it moving. If they're too childish to not speak things out with you and say, you know what, this is childish, let's just shake hands and keep it moving, you don't need to worry about that person. You just need to flip your hair, look at your nails, and keep it moving, because that person obviously is too childish to even function. There's always going to be drama. You and your boyfriend might break up, and then your best friend might try to talk to your boyfriend, and then now you hate your best friend. That type of stuff happens all the time in high school. I swear to God, guys, like, I swear it happens all the time. I don't see why a girl would try to talk to her best friend's man, but hey, it is what it is in high school sometimes. Drama, honestly, it's something that doesn't last forever, so do not get worked up about it. Do not get so emotional. Do not cry about it. I mean, you might break down and feel like, oh, you're losing everything, but there's way more life after high school, way more. And drama always resolves in the end. No one really goes to their grave hating someone, but if they do, honestly, at least at one point they were cool, they try to work things out, and maybe it just didn't happen. But don't get fed up on drama. Honestly, the girls that you the girls are boys, the group of friends that you come into high school, honestly, I'm going to say 99% chance you won't make it to the end with every single person that was in that circle, and it's going to be because of drama. So just know that and be aware. Another thing with drama is there's always going to be someone who just doesn't like you. Personally, I've been in high school. There's always been girls who just don't like me for no reason. If you're pretty or you're doing your thing, you're smart, you're educated, you seem to have your stuff together, you have a good group of friends, people hate on that type of thing if they don't have that. So there's always going to be someone who doesn't like you for no reason. So that just composes a pile of drama. And unfortunately, there's nothing that you can really do to get out of that except for hold your ground, know your morals, keep it moving, don't approach that person. If that person says something to you, you keep it moving. Like I said, you flick your hair, look at your nails, and you keep it moving. There's no point getting into drama like that. So our next topic is about friends. This is kind of tied into what I just said, but friends are honestly not forever. They're not forever. The people that you come into high school with, you're not always going to make it to the end, but high school is the place for you to acquire those friendships, those long-term friendships. You want to talk to as many people as you can, but don't be annoying about it. You want to just make connections with teachers, with sophomores. Honestly, be a nice person, but do not let people walk over you when it comes to your friendships. You want to be open. You want to just kind of gather people in, but do not tell people that you don't know your business, because they're not your friend, they might just run back and tell. So I feel like high school is a time for you to acquire a lot of friendships. I've known my friend Kim, as you've seen in my vlogs. I've known her since I was in the 2nd grade, and we're finna graduate like in about 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks. And honestly, that's like a day one friend. There's gonna be a couple of those friends that you've always gonna be friends with, but there's some people that I met in high school who aren't my friends, and I'm about to graduate, and I might not talk to them ever again. So that's just the reality of friends. The next thing that we're going to talk about are rumors. In high school, especially at this day and age where social media and cell phones are everything, rumors spread so fast. Especially when you're in a school where you are part of the majority race. And by that I mean, I go to a predominantly white high school. So the white people are kind of, you know, together, and the black people in my school are kind of in their own section. If you like watch my everyday high school vlog, my first vlog, you can kind of see that in the video. Like towards the end, the black people kind of talk to the black people and the white people kind of talk to the white people. I mean, I'm not gonna say they don't talk to each other, but it's kind of a separation. It's just how most predominantly white schools that have a black population are. That's just how it is. So on Twitter, a lot of people tweet things and Instagram things. Rumors spread so fast. You tell one person your deepest, darkest secret, if that person is not 100% your friend, it's going to get told by someone else. I guarantee. Rumors just spread so fast. Like, it's literally lightning speed. You tell someone something and now everyone knows. Keep your business to yourself, especially if it's extremely personal, because I've had people tell me about some really personal things about people. Like, I don't even want to give an example, but like some really personal things, and it's just not fair that someone has to go through that when they thought they could trust somebody, but they couldn't. And another thing about rumors, social media is the easiest way to spread them. So if you tweet something about someone because you're mad at them or you just don't like them, that person's gonna see it within a day. I promise you. Before the school day is even over, they're going to see it. Keep your thoughts to yourself. I've made wrong decisions where in the freshman year, I posted something on Facebook about this girl, and I thought people would have my back, but everyone's fake in my school, except for my close friends and a couple of people. And she found out, she confronted me, and I said, yeah, I said it, okay. And it didn't turn out well. It didn't help our situation. We still don't like each other to this day. The next thing I'm going to talk about is sex. So I'm just going to keep it real. I remember someone telling me right before high school, everyone has sex in high school. And I'm just like, no, that's never going to be me. I'm going to just, you know, keep myself pure, and I'm never going to just get into that type of stuff. But I was wrong. A lot of people are having sex or are very sexually active in high school. Honestly. And if you have a boyfriend, and the older you guys get and the more you guys mature and develop into a more intimate relationship, things happen and you might be occasionally having sex with this person. The best thing to do is just stay protected. Pregnancy does happen, and it's happening more rapidly than it used to, and there's always that one girl in the grade who gets pregnant. And being pregnant in the 9th grade is not really the best look. Being pregnant when you're young is not really portrayed in this society as a positive thing, whereas I feel as if it happens, you take care of the situation and you try to do the best with what you can do. But whether you want to do abortion or adoption or keep it, that's completely up to you. I don't make comments about that stuff because people have certain opinions that they feel strong about, but just try your best to stay protected. I want to say that a lot of people are losing their virginity in the 9th grade because they are just so pressed and so excited and just so overjoyed to have sex. If you have sex with a random sophomore as a freshman, or you just have sex because you're at a party and a senior manipulates you to do it and you just give in and say yes, you're not going to feel good about it after it's done. You're going to wake up the next morning and you're going to really start to reflect and say, why did I do that? Because you don't have any emotional connection to this person. You just did it because you wanted to try it. It doesn't work that way. Sex is supposed to be an intimate thing that you do with someone who you really feel like you love, someone that you really have feelings for. So when you just do it to do it, it defeats the whole purpose. That's not why sex was invented. And no, Trey Songz, you did not invent sex, so goodbye. But honestly, everyone, I'm not going to say everyone, but a good 90% of people in high school are having sex. Even the kids that you wouldn't even think are having sex, the golden girls, the little church girls, they're busting it open for Benny. So I'm just going to say people are just obviously sexually active, and that doesn't even mean engaging in intercourse. That means doing sexual things too, performing sexual acts on people. A lot of people begin to do that when they're in their freshman year, especially girls, because that's what people talk about. You hear people in high school just openly talk about sex. It's so open. People don't care. They tell their business. They feel like everyone needs to know. And that's fine to know if you want to tell your friends, but rumors spread fast, like I said. So people are going to find out who you did it with and how that person felt about you in a matter of seconds. So if Jimmy didn't like the way how you were doing something, he might tell his whole entire football team, and you're going to be the laughing stock, and that's going to be kind of your fault because you decided to do it with Jimmy when you knew Jimmy didn't like you didn't have any emotional connection to him, and he just told you a whole bunch of things because he just wanted to get some, which is very unfortunate. So I would like to say, just be smart about sex. If you find someone who you really like, stay protected and do what you need to do. I'm not going to tell anyone to not have sex because I just feel like I'm not in a position to tell anyone what to do. And I'm just giving advice from what I've experienced and what my friends have experienced and what honestly goes on in high school. So our next topic is discipline. So of course school is going to have discipline. If you're late, if you're tardy, if you fight, if you cuss somebody out, if you and your teacher get into an argument, there's going to be some repercussions for that, whether it be a detention, an in-school suspension, out-of-school suspension. I remember in middle school we had lunch detention. I don't know if they do that in anyone's high school. Fights in high school, especially mine, are not tolerated. You will be arrested. You will be charged. $500 charge in the state of Pennsylvania for fighting in school. Is it worth it? Absolutely not. So do not get into fights. I know sometimes you get heated, you get mad when you're in a verbal confrontation with someone. I've been there plenty of times, and you just want to knock that person out with one punch, but it's not worth it at the end of the day. You get suspended 5 days, $500 fine, arrested, you get charged, you have a record. It's not worth it over some petty high school drama. Be careful of what you do because it stays on your record and it's really hard to get that stuff off. I'm a tardy person. I can wake up early, but I just take so much time to get ready that I'm tardy on a regular basis, and I get detentions for it. And can I argue with them? No. But it's just something that you need to work on. I've heard people say they've gone the entire high school without getting any type of detention. That's just bizarre to me because I'm like detention queen. But it is what it is with detention. Try your best to just keep your composure, follow the school rules. Obviously, I know they suck sometimes, but you just have to do what you have to do. And some teachers will agree that some of the rules in the school are a little bit overboard, but you just have to do what you have to do. If you feel as if you got detention for a reason that wasn't fair, it wasn't suitable for what you did, and you didn't deserve that consequence, I would definitely see your school dean or principal, whoever issues detentions and discipline options, and try and argue your case. Do not let any administrator, any teacher, any paraprofessional person in the school walk over you when it comes to your discipline. I remember I got detention for skipping class when I never skipped class. The teacher just didn't know that I had come to class that day. She had marked me. She didn't see me because it was a special day kind of thing, and I was there for like 2 minutes and then I left. She didn't see me at all, so she marked me as if I never came to class, and I got detention for it. And when I tried to argue against it, they didn't have any evidence that she was lying or whatever, so I had to pay the price for that. Argue every disciplinary action that you get that you know is unfair. I cannot stress this enough because that stuff goes on your record, and colleges might look at it and just feel like it doesn't matter. Like, you can be the best candidate for a college and have A's and B's, involved in a lot of sports, nice and friendly personality, outgoing, but because you acquired so many detentions because you were late or tardy, they might look at that as a concern about how you're going to be when you get to their college. So that's something that you really want to keep in mind. Overall, high school to me it's a good experience. I'm not going to say it's the greatest because no one could probably say that, but it's a good experience because you meet the people who are going to be lifelong friends in here, and also it prepares you for college. If you had the right resources, it definitely is that stepping stone into a bigger pond. And I just feel like I was so confused as an 8th grader going into high school because I don't know, I just feel like no one told me how it was going to be. I obviously have an older brother, but my older brother is like 5-6 years older than me. So by the time I was even going into high school, he was already in college doing his thing. And I have a younger sister, so she obviously wasn't in high school. So I kind of experienced the entire thing by myself. I didn't really have anyone to guide me through it. And I went through it, you guys. I made so many wrong decisions that consequented in a lot of derogatory things, and I just wanted to share that with you guys and just make sure that you don't go down a wrong path. It's just like basic stuff like make good decisions, keep your grades up, and have a good time. Those are the 3 things that I can say. Don't procrastinate, get your work done. Colleges look at your 9th grade year. I think they look at your 9th grade year more than they look at your 10th grade year because your 9th grade year provides the data that shows how much you progressed to your junior/senior year. So 9th grade year really is important, as well as every other grade year, but honestly, live it up and just try your best to have as much fun as possible, stay drama free, make some good friends, and you should have a good time in high school. By the end of high school, you're going to be so over it. You're going to be like, oh, I hate this place. I want to get out. That's kind of how I'm thinking right now. Like, I need to get out. But you're going to look back and be like, dang, I was just a freshman coming in and I was so ugly. And I don't know what I was wearing. Look at my hair, braces, all this stuff. And you're going to look at yourself and be like, I've really developed from being a freshman to a senior. And that's probably one of the biggest changes that you go from is when you're a freshman to a senior. Because your high school year is what shapes you as a person. And it just molds you into how you're going to be when you kind of get into the college life and start to grow up. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video because I kind of enjoyed filming it and reminiscing about some of my earlier high school experiences. But I have some Chipotle and I need to eat it, so I'm going to see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching, and definitely do not forget to subscribe, and do not forget to check out my last video. Give this video a thumbs up if you like the advice that I gave you, because that would really help out the video. So thanks for watching, and see you in my next video.